Yes, here we go.
Yay! Oh, I need to change my music too.
Hello, everyone at home. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. Kristyn is just setting up her music because she's still in Shavasana mode. She has to wake up from the previous class. We just did a gentle class, and now it's going to be a little bit more challenging.
Yes! We're here! We're happy that you're joining us. And we are. We're here, live, and we are going to do a more challenging class. Are we ready for that?
Yes, we are.
That didn't sound that convincing, Mia.
Just cold.
We're going to warm ourselves up. We are happy that you are joining us today. Hey, benefits of being at home and not at the studio. You can create your own space, put on your own music, leave the lights however you want. Props. You are going to need a couple little props. Maybe a blanket you can use as a strap and some blocks. Excellent. We're happy you're here. Let's get started. Set these to the side. Slowly disrobe as we generate some warmth over here. Let's sit up nice and tall. Let's chant Om together. Deep breaths in. I love winding the torso around. Well, it gives you a little minute to tune in, check in. Making this your own. Maybe we're starting to shed some clothes, our sweaters, or our socks as we begin to make this our own. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Allowing everything to soften. Changing directions. How do we feel today? It's my last sock. Good. Let's come back to center. Nice long torsos. We're inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, folding. Hinging forward. Hands can stay on your knees or they can come forward. What I want are your shoulders sort of together. Shoulder blades squeezing together and down your back. We're not rounding them. Allowing the breath to soften. Deep breaths in, nice, smooth, steady breaths out. Good, and coming back to center. Let's inhale, lengthen, exhale, walk these left fingertips down, opposite arm, up and over, sternum towards the sky, just for a breath. Both sitting bones on the mat. Good, back to center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to the right. Opposite arm up and over, sternum towards the sky. Good. Back to center. Changing our feet. So whichever one is in front, put it in the back. Whichever one is on top, put it on the bottom. And warming up the spine. Making this your own. Good. Maybe again, there's pauses. aspects of the neck or the shoulders. I was thinking the other benefit of being at home doing this yoga practice is if you felt gassy that day. We were in our other class, our morning class, and someone mentioned that, and I was like, yeah, well, now if you're in the comfort of your home, you could let it rip peacefully without any embarrassment. I'm trying to think of the benefits of being at home in this practice, huh? Also, it's normal. These things are normal in life. Normal functions. God, we are moving the torso around. And maybe we're exploring our intestines, how it feels in there. Maybe it feels full or empty or gassy. Good. And let's come back to center. Nice long torsos. We're inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, folding forward. Good. Shoulders not rounding. And we're allowing the breath to soften us into this pose. Good. And coming back to center. Excellent. I'm going to take this left leg and I'm going to bring this knee towards you, the center line. I'm going to take this right leg, I'm going to plop it on top so I almost have my right ankle on top of this left knee. And I'm going to take my foot and I'm going to lovingly rotate my ankle in one direction. Good. I'm going to rotate it in the opposite direction. Good. I'm going to come back to center. I'm just going to bring my toes. Sort of like pointing your toes. Good. I also have my thumb on my arch, the arch of my foot. Giving yourself a little foot massage. Pressing into the arch of your foot. Good. Excellent. Go ahead and release that. We're going to take that same foot and see if we can place the top of that foot on the mat. Good. This hip might want to come up. We're going to release this hip back to the floor as we take our right arm, bring it towards the sky. Inhale, lengthen, exhale. We're going to place it behind us. This is our little anchor. Good. Our left arm, we're bringing it towards the sky, inhaling. And now we're going to twist from the belly, the rib cage, the sternum. So we're going to twist, twisting all together. Good. Inhale, lengthening, exhaling. Bring this elbow to the outside of that knee. Good. Again, inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, twisting from the belly, the rib cage, the sternum, then the neck, then the eyes. Good. Holding it, not the breath. 3, 2, and release. Coming back to center, nice and easy. Good. Undo this right leg. Release it to the floor. And we're taking this left leg and placing it on top, this left ankle on top of this right knee. Excellent. Start by a little circle with this foot, this ankle. Excellent. Let's change directions. Changing directions. Oh, I heard that pop, Nina. Yeah, that's normal. We were just talking about that during the break. Hips popping, joints popping. Good. So normal. Good. Back to center. Hold on to the top of your toes. Bring them towards the back of the room, like as if you're pointing your toes. With some assistance. Maybe you get a cramp there. And then go ahead and put your thumb into the inner arch. Give yourself a little massage. Tell yourself how awesome you are today. Put a smile on your face. Good. We are in this together. Excellent. Releasing. Lengthen the torso as we take this left leg and bring it across the body. Foot firm on the mat. This hip wants to come off. Place it back onto the floor. This left arm, we're inhaling up. Exhaling, placing it behind our back. Good. This opposite right arm, we're inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, we're twisting from the belly, the rib cage, the sternum. Good. Then we're bending this knee. Inhale, lengthening. Exhaling, twisting again from the belly, the rib cage, the sternum, then the neck, then the eyes. Both hips firm on the mat. That's what I would like. Holding another breath. 3, 2, and release. Come back to center. Excellent. Undo this leg and come onto all fours. Let's warm up the spine. So what I want, knees hip width distance apart, fingers spread nice and wide, middle fingers parallel to each other. Good. We're gonna do a couple cat cows here. So just navel towards the floor, lifting the chin, untucking the sitting bones. Good. Really exaggerating this movement here. Exhaling, chin to chest, wringing out all the air in the lungs. Good. Navel towards the floor. Navel towards the sky. Good. Back to center. We're going to warm up the spine by moving into a cobra, into child's pose. I'm going to come to a 45-degree angle so you can see it a little bit better. But we're still in this position, and we're going to allow the hips to float towards the floor. Good. I want these elbows bent. Good. And then exhale all the way back into child's pose. Good. And we're going to connect this movement to our breaths. So we're going to inhale. We're moving into some form of cobra. Good. And I guess what I mean by some form of cobra is your hips move closer to the floor. We don't want your shoulders near your ears. We're not hanging into our joints. They're sort of away, they're in their sockets, and if this is intense on the low back, we're bending the elbows. Actually, bending the elbows may make it a little more intense on the low back. Good, we're here, we're inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, shifting back into child's pose. Good. As we inhale into some form of cobra, hips move closer towards the ground. Good. Exhale back. Child's pose. And I want you to keep doing this, connected to your breath. So we're inhaling, allowing the pelvis to release towards the floor in some form of cobra, the nice broad collarbone. We're inhaling, exhaling, shifting back. And keep doing this at your own pace. Connected to your breath. This is great for mobility in the spine. It's like a cat-cow. We're just doing it as a warm-up, but it's a lot fuller range of motion than the cat-cow is. Good. A couple more. Tuning into the breath here. See if we can tune in to parts of our body that maybe feel stale. Stale is a good word. And see if you can breathe some new life into those spots that feel stale. Good. A couple more here. Change back in this direction. Couple more. Good. And let's all meet into this cobra. We're gonna move back into this cobra. Good. I want these elbows bent. Elbows into our low ribs. And go ahead, release all the way down and come up onto our forearms. Good. Actually, if your block is handy, is that perfect? Excellent. What I want is your block, kind of like this, or your book, or whatever. If you don't, that's okay. What I want is your forearms parallel. That's what I care about. Good, so we're here. And we're gonna alternate our feet towards our heels. I'm sorry, our heels towards our bum. So just alternating, alternating the bend in your knees. Let's see if I can talk today. Yes. Apparently I get stage fright. Or just tongue-tied. Good, we're here, we're alternating. And we're checking in with our low back. How does it feel right now? Good, how does this low back feel? Excellent. Have both legs, heels together. Inhale, lengthen, and then both heels towards your bum. Good, our gaze maybe a little bit towards the sky. Shoulders away from the ears. Holding it. 3, 2, and go ahead, release all the way down. Good, shift that butt to the side. Excellent, place your palms under your shoulders, fingers spread nice and wide, elbows in. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, we're lifting up and back into downward dog. Excellent, go ahead, bend these knees. Bicycle it out. Maybe we're exploring what's happening in our back. Maybe we're giving that neck a gentle shake. Yes, a gentle shake. No, make sure there's no tension hanging out. Good. Let's lift this right leg nice and high towards the sky. We're inhaling. Exhaling, we're bringing the knee into the chest, placing the foot in between the palms. Good, into a high lunge. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lifting up. Engaging the arms, palms facing each other. Yeah, I hear some heat generating now, huh? Excellent. Palms facing each other, grounding down through the shoulders. Excellent. And let's release. Palms towards the ground. Front leg meets the back, downward dog. Excellent. Shifting into some form of plank. Shoulders over our palms. Tuck that tailbone under. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, all the way down, chaturanga, into some form of cobra. Good. Exhale, back into downward dog. Excellent. Come through. Sorry, my hands are getting a little moist. If you have to dry them off, you can always dry them off on something. Good. Let's do the other leg before I give you a little rest. Inhale, left leg towards the sky, nice and high. Inhale. Exhale, bring this foot in between our palms. Take a deep breath. Exhale the torso up, palms facing each other, grounding down through the shoulders. Beautiful. We are here. Sounds funny in this pose. See if you can take your inner thigh and rotate it towards the sky. Good. One more breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Come down, palms on the mat. Front leg meets the left or the back. Inhale. Exhale, shifting into plank. Good. Exhale down, chaturanga, into some form of cobra. Here's your rest, here's your child's pose. Sit back into balasana. Your choice, knees can be together, they can be apart. Hands can be in front of you, out to the side, behind you, on your sacrum. And we're breathing, we're observing the body, maybe the way the belly expands on the thighs. With each exhalation, you're releasing closer to the floor. With each smooth, steady breath out, it melts away any tension. Good. We're gonna do some hips again. We didn't get any requests before we started. That's okay. Next time, feel free to add your request. Otherwise, I will find fun stuff to do. And we are gonna do some hip openers here today. Let's breathe together. allowing the softness to melt us towards the floor for one more breath. And let's come back to center. Let's come on to all fours. Tuck these toes under. Inhale. Exhale, lifting up and back. Downward dog. Excellent. Let's start with our left leg. I don't know, just for fun. Left leg. Left leg up towards the sky. Good. Toes, hips, and knees towards the side of the room. So opening these hips towards the side of the room. Good. Then hips pointing down. We're going to bring this knee into our chest as we rotate our leg and have our shin towards the floor. And we're going to release this back leg down. And maybe I need to do a little better demo here. Good. So we're going into pigeon pose, and this is kind of a hip opener. So you can grab a handy dandy block, yeah, or your pillow, yeah, thank you. And we're gonna stuff this little hip up back here. So maybe I need to go from this side. So the closer that your heel is towards your groin, the softer it's gonna be. The more that it's a parallel, the harder that it is. And maybe you noticed I kind of just did one of these. This is not the same as this. Good. So we may have this gap, and then we put a little block. Stuff it. We can either stuff it with a block, or pillow,
Or blanket.
or blanket. Yeah.
As long as it's supportive, right?
As long as it's supportive, that's what yeah, exactly. As long as it's supportive. And we're here. And this helps us from kind of allowing the hips to roll out and be lazy. So our hips are facing forward. Good. We're here. We're smiling. We're softening any tension on our faces. Good. We're inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, release the torso down to the floor. Meet us at our forearms. Good. We're breathing. This pose can be intense. Maybe we're observing the quality of our thoughts, our mind. Sometimes this makes us, I don't know, agitated or sad. Maybe you don't like this pose, maybe you do. We're just observing. Sometimes in this pose, I'll sway back and forth, a little sway. See if that sort of helps, just a little rock. I don't know why it softens the tension in my hips. Maybe it feels like a nice cuddle, someone just coddling you, softening the tension in your hips. Good. If that doesn't appeal to you, you can go back to a stationary one. Like a little sway, little rock, back and forth. And if that feels okay and still supportive, you can explore maybe moving a little closer to the floor. Seeing if the torso will allow itself to get a little closer to the floor. I'd love this back leg straight out and the top of this foot pressing into the mat. I'd love this bent leg, the foot to be flexed. That's what I love. I love that foot to be flexed. Keeping your angle safe. I love it. Francesco put a pillow or the blanket under his head. That is resourcefulness right there. Yes, it is. Feel free to use a pillow. You can also stack your palms on top of each other. Do one of those. Little fists or the palms on top of each other. Whatever feels good. What I want is a softness. And we're going to hold this here for one more breath. Good. And come back to center. So place your hands back at center, chin back to center. We're gonna lift the torso up. Good, all right, this is gonna feel intense and good and strange once we release this into downward dog. Fingers spread nice and wide. Use that as your support. Up this back, toe under. Yep, remove your support. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, we're lifting up and back into downward dog. And give this leg a shake. Oh, yeah, explore that hip. Shake it out, shake it out. Good, shake it out. Good, maybe a little rotation of the ankle while we're up there. Good, maybe a little rotation of the ankle in the other direction. Excellent. Good, back to a nice stationary downward dog. Let's flow through this vinyasa together. So we're shifting into plank. Nice, strong, sturdy planks. Tuck the tailbone under. No saggy planks. This is not plank. Don't make it look like this. Make it look like this. Good, inhale. Exhale, elbows into the ribs, all the way down. Some form of cobra. Good. Exhale, back into child's pose. Your choice if the child's pose has your knees together or apart. Your choice on where your arms end up. And we are breathing. Allowing the breath to soften. Sounds funny, but maybe we can observe the difference in the hips. How that feels, the left between the right. Maybe one feels more open than the other because we just did one side. Or maybe you naturally notice that one hip within yourself is tighter than the other. It's okay. No judgment. Give me one full final breath out here. And place your hands back onto the mat. Fingers spread nice and wide. Coming back to all fours. Good. Maybe you want to switch your support to the other side. As we tuck our toes under, we're inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, lifting up and back into downward dog. Good, and let's lift our right leg nice and high towards the sky. Toes, hips, knees pointing to the side of the mat. Side of the mat. Good. Let's have these hips pointing down towards the floor. Bring the knee into the chest, and then we're externally rotating it. It's almost like shin coming to the top of the mat. Good, and then releasing down. And we're finding where we want to be. Again, maybe there's a little stuffing, a support here. Find where that support is. Good. We are here. So again, heel closer to the groin. It's a little softer. Heel moving away from the groin and shin moving towards a 90-degree angle makes it a little harder, and our foot is flexed. Good, we're inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling. We're folding down. You could even use a block here for your forehead or your book or your blanket, or you can stack your hands on top of each other. Your choice. Maybe when we're down here, that little sway, that little rock from side to side. Maybe that feels good to you, maybe it doesn't. If it doesn't, you can stay stationary. I like this rock. I don't know why. I feel like it helps me release some tension in my hips. Maybe release some emotionality and allow my torso to release a little further down to the floor. And we're in any position that feels good. I mean, in terms of our hands, we're still in pigeon together, of course. Good. And we're allowing the breath to release. Allowing any tension in the body to soften. Deep breaths in. Nice, smooth, steady breaths out. Good. One more. And let's slowly release. Bring these hands back in front of us. Fingers spread nice and wide. We're lifting the torso up. Good. I'm tucking this back toe under. I'm taking a deep breath in. Inhale, exhale, lifting up and back, downward dog. Go ahead and shake this leg out. This is my favorite part of the pose. is the shaking out. Good. Excellent. Release it back down. Let's float through this vinyasa together. We're shifting into plank. Nice, strong, sturdy planks. Exhale down. Shout it under. Into some form of cobra. Good. Exhale back. Child's pose for just a breath. Good. Allowing your bum to get closer to your heels. Beautiful. Let's come back to center. Tuck these toes under. Inhale, exhale, lifting up and back, downward dog. Excellent. As we lift our right leg towards the sky, let's open those hips to the side of the room. So hips, knees, toes towards the side. Good. Let's bend this heel. Bend this heel towards our bum. Knee towards the sky. Good. Straighten that leg. Good. One more time. Bend that knee. Heel towards your bum. Straighten that leg. Excellent. Hips pointing down. And then bring the knee into the chest. Bring this foot in between our palms. Excellent. We're almost in a high lunge, but we're not going to go there. We're going to move into this lizard. Release this back knee down. Let's do that first. Good. This foot, you're going to toe heel it towards the outside of your mat. And we're going to bring this right arm in the inside of this knee. Excellent. We're here. We're breathing. We have a smile on our face. Excellent. Good. Let's inhale, lengthen. Exhale, see if this becomes feasible, possible. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe we're back here. So we're exploring. How does it feel to move on to the forearms? Nope.
I can't go there, but everything's gonna twist and turn.
How about a 1 and a 1? 1, yeah, just bend these little elbows. Good. Excellent. Let's come back to full palms. Let's bring this toe, heel it back to the center line of the body. Tuck this back toe under. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, up and back, downward dog. Let's shift into plank. Nice, strong, sturdy planks. Exhale down, chaturanga. Some form of cobra. Good. Exhale back. Child's pose. Give yourself a little breath before we do the other side. Good. Coming back to center. Tuck these toes under. Inhale. Exhale. Lifting up and back. Downward dog. Let's do this left side. Left leg. Nice and high towards the sky. And then opening the hips to the side of the room. Toes, hips, knees to the side. Toes, hips, knees to the side. Good. Bend this heel towards our bum. Good. Straighten it. Good. Bend the heel towards the bum. Good. Straighten it. Last one. One more bend. Good. Straighten it. Hips pointing back towards the ground. You can do it. Bring this knee into the chest and step it in between the palms. Beautiful. Good. Excellent. Drop this back knee down onto the mat and then allow this foot foot to move to the outside of that mat. You might have to adjust your clothing. I feel like sometimes clothes get in the way in this pose. Good, we're here, we're inhaling. We're gonna try to bring both shoulders forward. Good. We're breathing. Maybe we feel this in this hip socket. Sounds funny. See if we can move this hip socket back. It wants to kind of creep up on us. See if we can bring it back. Good. And here's the option. Maybe the forearms. Maybe not. Maybe you're looking at me like I'm crazy. That's okay. I'll take it. Maybe we're alternating onto the forearms, or maybe we're not. No pressure, no force. Whatever this looks like today, however this looks like today, there's no judgment. And we're gonna come back into palms are. We're gonna inhale, lengthen. We're gonna toe heel this foot back to the center line of the body. Palm on the outside, tuck this back toe under. Inhaling, exhaling. Front leg meets the back, downward dog. Good. We're here, we're breathing. Let's shift into plank. Nice, strong, sturdy planks. Exhale down, chaturanga, into some form of cobra. Good. And back into child's pose. You decide. What I do want is some other position of child's pose than what you normally do. So maybe knees are apart, move there together. Maybe arms are in front, to the side, behind you, on your back. Just do something different. Don't keep doing the same things. Good. And we're allowing the breath to soften. Allowing any tension to soften. And let's come back to center, and we're gonna grab our handy dandy blocks. Keep them to the side. I think I'm gonna go at a 45-degree angle here, so maybe we can all see. So we're gonna meet on all fours. We're gonna tuck our toes under. We're gonna inhale. Exhale, lifting up and back. So we're all in downward dog together. Good, our blocks are at the top of our mat, or our books, or our canned goods, or whatever substitutes as your blocks. And we're gonna lift our left leg. Let's start with the left leg. Left leg nice and high towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale, bring the knee into the chest, and then step the hand in between the palms. Good. This back leg is going to rotate at a 90-degree angle. And we're going to sort of helicopter our torso up. Good. We're going to have the palms facing up, engage the arms to shoulder height, and the palms facing down. Good, and I'm gazing over this middle finger. So this is Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. We're gonna move into Trikonasana, which is triangle pose, which is why we're gonna need these blocks. Good, we're gonna straighten this front leg. Excellent. Ooh, I should have put the block in your inner arch. So go ahead, bend this knee into Warrior 2, take your block and put it right into your inner arch. Good, excellent. Sorry about that, guys. Good. We're gonna straighten this front leg. Hips towards the long side of your mat. We're inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling. See if you can bring your hand towards your knee and then allow it to slide down your shin and towards your block, and then readjust your block so it's right under your shoulder. Good. So, your hips, I kind of don't want you like dumping everything into your hips, if that makes sense. This inner arch is engaged, this knee is engaged, and you can decide what level of block is suitable for you. So it could be at this level, it could be here. Good. You could decide you don't want to use your block, that's okay. What I want is the breath, the softness of your breath. Your gaze can be up at the ceiling. This is maybe the most challenging, finding your balance. It could be in front of you, it could also be on the ground. This arm doesn't have to be elevated. It could be behind you. It's really more of this inhaling, lengthening, exhaling, rotating this twist. Good. Holding it for breath. 3, 2. Good. Go ahead, bend this front knee. Meet me back into warrior 2. Beautiful. We are here. Let's take this front arm, raise it towards the sky. Good. We're coming back to center. We're going to move into Trikonasana one more time. We're inhaling, exhaling, straightening this front leg. We're not locking this joint. It's still engaged. That whole leg is still engaged. Good. Inhaling, exhaling, sort of just hinging from the side, moving into your desired Trikonasana. Again, the block can be under your shoulders. It can be at different levels. What I want is you not like dumping all your weight into this block. Sometimes you're like, oh good, the block. Oh, and all of our weight is here, and then we're hyperextending our knee, and we're just half-assing it, so to speak. We're not. We're doing this with integrity. Good. And a little graceful, we're doing this pose. And we're going to come out of it the same way. We're inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, we're bending that front knee. Bringing the torso back up to center. Beautiful. One more time, that front arm towards the sky. Good. Back to center. And we're just going to shift this block off to the front of our mat. Good. We're coming back into warrior 2. As I sort of inch this back foot in, I pivot on my toes towards the front of my mat. Hands down, front leg meets the back. Downward dog. Excellent. Let's flow through this little vinyasa together. We're shifting into plank. Nice, strong, sturdy planks. Exhale down, chaturanga. You want more of a challenge? Don't let your thighs touch. Move into an up dog. Good. And then some form of cobra. Some form of cobra. Good. Exhale back into downward dog. Beautiful. We are here. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Holding it here. I'm just shifting my position so you get a different angle of me and I'm not kind of backwards towards you. Good. Don't mind me moving around. And let's lift our right leg nice and high towards the sky. Good. Toes, hips, knees pointing to the side of the mat. Inhaling, lengthening, exhaling, hips pointing down, knees into the chest, step that foot forward. Yes, this back leg spins at a 90-degree angle. So if I'm lining up, I have my my heel to my inner arch back there. Good. I'm also taking this block, keeping it near the front of my mat as I inhale the torso up, palms facing up, engaging the arms and the palms facing down, gazing over this middle finger. This knee, it wants to collapse on you. It wants to kind of collapse in. Don't let it. Keep it right over that ankle. Good. Virabhadrasana 2. We are here. We are breathing together. Inhale, lengthen. Good. Let's lift this arm towards the sky. Exhaling, coming back to center. Good. Again, we're inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, we're straightening this front leg. Good. We're not locking it, not locking that joint. Do you see how this and this want to do that? We're avoiding that. We're trying to keep this straight, like as if this was a bowl, so all your contents don't spill out of the bowl. And I want this knee engaged, so we're not locking that knee. Good. And our arms at shoulder height. Palms facing down. We're inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, we're going to sway to the side. Allow this hand to kind of come down to the shin. And then into our block. The block really can be in the inside of the arch or the outside. And it can really be this level, this level, this level, this level, whichever level you want. I want you to kind of make these your own and find what feels comfortable for you. Even this arm, it doesn't have to be up. It can be on your hips. Good. What I want is this little lift of the sternum and a little turn. This pose, I almost think of you're trying to be as like flat as possible, trying to fit through a tiny little crack. Good. So we're holding this together. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Good. Inhale. Exhale, bend this front knee, moving back into warrior two. Good. Gazing over that middle finger, we're making sure our alignment is proper. We're not slacking. This knee isn't collapsing in, it's right over that ankle. Inhale, lengthen, front arm towards the sky. Good. Back to center. Good. Straighten that leg. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Sway to the side. Arm releases down the shin, finding a block or not a block. Good. This arm I don't really care about. It can be up, can be behind your back, can be behind your back. What I want is this shoulder almost pointing towards the sky, not towards the camera, not towards the floor. It's pointing towards the sky. Good. Wherever that arm is fine with me. Good. 3, 2. Let's come out of this nice and easy together. We're bending this front knee. Good. Back into warrior two. Excellent. We may want to inch this foot up to then have toes pointing towards the front of the mat. Shifting this block off to the side. Palms on the mat. Good. Front leg meets the back. Downward dog. Excellent. Let's shift through this little vinyasa together. So we're shifting into plank. Nice, strong, sturdy planks. Inhale. Exhale down. Chaturanga. Into some form of cobra. Nice. Cobra. Again, you can move into up dog. Let's do that one more time. I'll show you up dog. As I move this block. Good. And we're back into downward dog. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling into some form of plank. Good. Chaturanga. Here's up dog. My thighs never touch. Good. Into some form of cobra. Back into downward dog. Excellent. Breathing here. Softening the breath. This is your resting pose, downward dog. Good. This is your resting pose. Give that neck a gentle shake. No, a gentle shake. Yes. Make sure there's no tension hanging out there. Good. Put a little bend in your knees. Gaze at your palms. And I want you to step, hop, or jump your feet to your hands. So we're inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling this little hop towards our hands. Yes. Perfect. Excellent. Tushy comes up, crown of the head towards the floor. Good. Hang on to your elbows. So just grab onto your elbows. Good. Let everything relax and hang. Maybe again, yes and no. With your neck, make sure there's no tension. Good. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, soften. Good. Go ahead, release your hands and place them behind your legs. So you're almost, your forearms are kind of like in the back of your knees. If that makes sense, maybe I'll come to this side. Good. So we're here, and we're still trying to work towards our elbows. Good. And if you have to bend your knees, I want you to bend your knees quite a bit. So it's almost like your knees are into your chest, and you're giving yourself a big hug. And we're bending the knees. Good. And then we're going to work these knees in the direction of straight. So we're inhaling, lengthening, exhaling. See if we can work these knees in the direction of straight. Good. Holding it. 3, 2, and bend your knees quite a bit. We're releasing and we're moving into Utkatasana, which is like an invisible chair right behind you. Yes, it's there. Perfect. Same distance in between your knees as there is in your feet. That's what I want. Good. We are breathing. You're doing great. You're doing great. We're almost there. Good. Releasing down. Crown of the head to the floor. Tushy comes up. Good. Holding it there. We are going to bend our knees. Place our hands on the mat. Step, hop, or jump our feet back. Into downward dog. Beautiful. We are here. Shifting through vinyasa. Into a plank. Nice, strong, sturdy planks. Exhaling down, chaturanga. Into some form of cobra or up dog. And here's your rest. Meet me in child's pose. And this can be whatever you want. It can be knees together, it can be apart. Knees can be in front of you. Hands can be in front of you, behind you, to the side. What I want is a softness. I want all of your awareness to be here now on the mat. We're not thinking of life or things we have to do or deal with later. You're here. You're tuning into the subtleties of your body. Observing any bits where there's stagnant energy. Maybe we're even observing the heart rate increased. Maybe we're observing the belly expanding on the thighs. Maybe there's a pause or a retention before the softening. Use this softening. Use this rest. We have a challenge pose coming up next. Good. One more full, steady, soft breath out. Good. And let's come back to center. All right, we're gonna grab our handy dandy blocks. Why? Because it's easier with blocks. If we try this without blocks, you might think your arms are too short for your body, and they're not. We're just not used to this. So maybe I'll demo, and then we'll do it all together. Because there are options, and I think this might be new for my lovely assistants, so don't want to throw them off. So the pose is Lolasana, and there are different ways of doing it. Maybe I'll show you the hardest version and then go backwards. So the hardest version is kind of in Padmasana, in lotus, which let's give you instructions in a second. But blocks are going to go right below our shoulders. We're inhaling, lengthening, exhaling, lifting up. We could do this, right? Possible? Nina's looking at me like, you
Never
be
gonna
crazy,
happen.
girl. You be crazy. I don't know what happened to you this morning, but no. Let me give you modifications. This is the challenge pose of the day. I think you can do it. I think you definitely can do it. All right, so this pose itself becomes a little harder, this lotus pose, Padmasana. So let's start by let's do the softest ankles. Let's bring our feet out to this way, and let's have these blocks. Yes, this is what we're gonna do. Now I'm gonna do the softest, then in between, and then you saw the hardest. Okay, good, we're here. Fingers are just gonna spread nice and wide, and I want your middle fingers, same, facing towards the front of the mat, parallel to each other. Good, elbows are gonna move towards the back of the room. You got this, we're just gonna lift up our tissues together. We're inhaling, lengthening, exhaling, lifting up. Good, can you lift up one leg? Good, Yeah, see? Now the opposite. Good. Now release all the way down. Good. Now cross them. It's like a momentum of inhaling and then exhaling, lifting up. Okay? Nina's looking at me funny. You also might be at home. Who knows? Who knows?
10 people quit the stream.
Dump. We're no, we can do this. You really can. And when you do it, it feels so good because you're like, oh my God, I didn't really think I can. So I believe in you. Good. We're here. We're inhaling. We're exhaling. Lifting up. Yes.
How?
You just lift this.
You just lift this, like she said.
Simple. Simple, right? No. All right, here we go. Bend your elbows. You see your elbows? Yeah, there you go. It's coming from here. I want this nice and firm. Your elbows are going to stay exactly like that. And just lift your little tushy up. Good. Your tushy's up? Good. It's all in the core. You ready? You got it. Yeah, core. We got this. Inhale. Exhale. Lift your feet up. Yes. Perfect. Yes. Come on, Nina. We can do this. We all can. Show them at home. Good. And release down.
I'm very curious if the people at home got it.
Right.
So if you got the chat, please let us know.
Tell us, right? Because then it helps me know, like, okay, don't do this one again. Or, hey, do it because you enjoyed it. But this is fun. Good. Okay, bring the bottoms of your feet together.
I got it.
Release. Oh, you did it. We're going to try it again. We're going to give it another shot. I'm going to give you a little release, and you're going to do it again. Good. Bottoms of your feet together. Let your knees come out. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, just fold forward. It's the last hard thing you're going to do in class today. And I'm going to give you another chance to do it. I think Nina's going to show us how it's done. She's got this in the bag. Look, and she was so skeptical in the beginning. She's going to go home and show her friends without touching them.
I really am.
Yeah.
Yes.
Staying 1.5 meters away from them. Good. Excellent. Come back to center. Let's give it another try. So that was sort of variation 1, where if we couldn't get into a Padmasana, which it is, super core, isn't it? I feel like it's like deceiving. It looks like an arm thing, but it's so much of a core. Yep, they're agreeing with me. Good. All right, so the next one is like we're in half lotus. So bend the one knee and bring this other leg. Sounds funny. Bring the right knee out and then swing it in. So it almost comes out and back and then down and then in.
Right.
Yeah, good. And I have this edge of my foot in this groin part. Good. And then my knee is working towards forward. Now this foot's going to be a little bit of a problem because it's going to dangle there, but you can lift it up off the floor. Take these blocks under our shoulders. Good. Give yourself a little pep talk. You can do it.
I got this.
You can do it. You're strong. Together we can do anything. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lift up. Yes. So this foot you can leave on the ground. You got it, Nina. Get that little tushy up.
Yeah.
Good. Stick this foot up. Out further. Good. And then you can see if you can lift this foot up.
It's harder to lift it up later than in the beginning.
In the beginning?
If you lift it immediately.
Right? I hear you. I do.
Yes,
Over here.
immediately. Use your abs.
Use them. Come on. Let's all meet here. Wait, I think I'm dying. I think I need a break. Oh, let's
You're
release.
like leaning backwards so you can more.
No.
I have no idea how to do that.
And let's go to the side. Let's see. It's really from the core. And I think there's a little bit of like a C happening. Like on my back is a little bit of a C. And my navel is kind of moving to the back of my spine. Maybe we can double check this on film because I can't say I ever really observed myself when I did this. We're inhaling, still creating length. So it is. I feel like my spine's...
I got
It makes sense because you're contracting your abs.
Right. Yeah, right. And it is. It's so much of an ab situation here. So there's a little bit of slight, I don't want to say shoulders round, but you're trying to engage your core. Right? Good. Does that make sense? Let's do it one more time.
Sure.
How about that? And let's do the opposite leg.
Oh.
And your choice if you want to do the opposite leg or try full Padmasana. But sometimes It's accessible, sometimes it's not. Don't force it. So full Padmasana, again, I'll just say what I mean by full Padmasana is a full lotus pose. But if there's any tension on the knees, we are not doing it. We're not really muscling ourselves into this pose. That's where it becomes dangerous. Dangerous for our knees, our hips, and just your mental well-being. Good. So we're doing the opposite side. You're almost there. She's got it. Good. And at the same time, bring this knee towards the front, a little bit more than out diagonally. Good. These blocks are under our shoulders. Our elbows are going to bend and bend backwards. So we have a nice broad collarbone also at the same time. Ready, guys? Inhale, lengthening. You could do it. Exhale, lift up. Yes. So your choice. You can leave that foot down, play with it when you lift it up, or keep it up from the beginning. Good. You're breathing. Yes, yes, we can. Hold it. 3, 2, 1. And release all the way down. Good. Release. Go ahead, release this leg. Good. She's stretching them out. Yeah. Let's bring them bottoms of our feet together. Good. Let's bring these close to the groin as possible. Good. We're inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, folding forward. Good. We're going to do this one more time, and then it's really cool down time. The models can decide whichever version you want to do, meaning you can do the first version where the legs, the ankles are there, or a half Padmasana. I might just give them a challenge at home and show them full Padmasana with this, and maybe if you did it, if you succeeded, leave us a comment. We'd love to hear from you to see if you managed it. And if you didn't, that's okay, because if you did, I still don't have a trophy for you. I have nothing to give you if you completed it, besides your own pat on the back. Good. Last chance, last chance, last chance. All right, so I'm gonna show you the full version of it, and our lovely assistants are gonna choose which version feels best for them. As we place our blocks under our arms. Good, we have a nice long torso. Shoulders squeezing together down the back. Elbows pointing to the back of the room. Inhaling, lengthening. Exhale, lift up. Yes! We're here. I do feel like this version is less of a core because my legs are just up altogether. Now it almost becomes a little bit more of the arms and less of the core because I don't have to really lift that leg up. Good. And if you want to be fun, you can sway. Just for fun. Just for amusement. Good. Can we all hold this up? 5 seconds. Come on, Nina, don't die on us. Show them at home how strong you are. 5 seconds. We can do anything. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Nice and easy. Relax. Good job. Good job. The wrist. A little bit on the wrist. Yeah, let's take these hands. Interlace the fingers together. Press them towards the front. Good. Shoulders away from the ears. Good. Inhale, exhale. Have our hands towards the sky. Good. Bend the elbows. You can bring them behind your head. Elbows towards the back of the room. Good. Release these hands down. Excellent. Undo your feet. Oh, you did it! You made it! So did you guys! Yeah! Super! Go ahead, throw these blocks off to the side just for fun. I don't know. Grab your strap and come on your back. We are moving into cool downs. We have our handy dandy blanket strap. Good. And we're gonna start here and we're gonna bring our shoulder blades, squeeze them together and under our back. We're gonna lift this left leg, we're gonna bend this left leg as we lift the right leg. So my left leg is bent, good. My right leg is towards the sky and I have this handy dandy blanket that I am putting around the ball of my foot. Good, my toes are pointing back towards me, so it's like a little waterfall coming back, those toes. Shoulders away from the ears, good. We're inhaling, lengthening, exhaling, lovingly draw this leg into your chest. Good. Go ahead, soften it, come back to center. Now straighten this left leg. The one that was bent on the floor, straighten it out. Good, glue it to the floor. We're inhaling, lengthening. Exhaling, lovingly drawing our right leg towards our chest. Good. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. Good. Soften, release, bend this right leg. We're bending the knee of the right leg and then externally rotating this right leg out towards the long side of the mat. Good, both shoulders on the mat. Inhale, exhale, work towards straight, working this leg towards straight. Good, you can hold the strap with one hand or two hands across the chest. I'd love both shoulders on the mat. That's really what I would love. Good, you're doing great. Shavasana is really like less than 5 minutes away. Good. Bending this right knee, bringing it towards the center line of the body and then crossing over, crossing over, crossing over. Good, this hip can come up. We're inhaling, lengthening, exhaling, then extending that right leg. Good, see if we can bring both shoulders back on the mat. So again, this inhaling, lengthening, and there's this twist that's happening here. Good. You can hold the strap with one hand or two hands, your choice, your choice. Good. Let's do the other side. Let's bend this right knee, bring it towards the center line of the body. Good. Let's bend this left knee, place it on the mat as we unlasso our right. Place that right back on the floor, and then the left extends towards the sky. Good. Toes pointing back towards me. We're inhaling. Exhaling, lovingly drawing it towards your chest. Good. Go ahead, release and soften, and then straighten this right leg all the way towards the floor. See if you can tuck those shoulder blades under, like together, and down your back. This left leg is straight, toes pointing back towards you as we inhale, lengthen. Exhaling, lovingly drawing this leg towards your chest. We're stopping before there's a scrunchy face, before you're holding your breath, before you wish I never put you into this pose. I want a softness here. Good. Let's bend this knee. Bring this knee away from the center line of the body, so externally rotating it out to the side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, straightening this left leg. Good. Both shoulders are on the mat. That's really what I would like. Beautiful. Holding it. Bending that left leg, bringing it into the center line of the body, crossing it over, crossing over, crossing over. Good, inhaling, lengthening, exhaling, extending that leg, and then we're bringing both shoulders to the mat. Excellent. Let's bend that knee, bring it back to center, and then releasing it all the way down. And actually bring this right leg into your chest. Let's move into a little happy baby here. So knees can move in the direction of your armpits, and we are swaying from side to side. Good. Preparing for Shavasana. It is here. You made it. You did it. Good. And let's come back to a nice stationary position. And then slowly move yourself into Shavasana. So here's the time. If you have socks, sweater, blanket, whatever you like to kind of get you cozy. I'm gonna put on my sweater and my socks. I'm gonna change our music into a little softer. So it sounds morbid, but Shavasana translates into corpse pose. And corpse, well, it's a dead person. It sounds pretty morbid. But the idea that I want you to bring into your mind is when a person is a corpse, their mind has shut off. So it's not just the body being physically still, it's also your mind being physically still. So let's see if we can try to cultivate that. Francesca's gonna shut off our light eventually. I'm gonna find my other sock and change the music. So again, in this position, our feet, I know your toesies might be cold, but what I want are feet greater than hip width distance apart. Good, and I want arms out to your sides so that enough air can float up into your armpits. Excellent, good. Even if you had a little eye pillow at home or something you can put over your eyes to block out the light if you didn't want to close the shades. I want you to be warm and cozy here. A little like a womb, so it's cozy and warm, and you feel supported and safe. Good. And we're allowing everything to begin to soften. We're allowing any tension in our eyes and our eye sockets to soften. Any tension in your jaw, softening, allowing your lips to part. Bringing your awareness to your shoulders, observing any tension, allowing it to melt down biceps, triceps, your elbows, your forearms, your wrist, out each and every fingertip. If the mind wanders, you're bringing it back to the belly. Rise and fall. Breath. Bringing your awareness to your hips and your hip sockets, your low back, observing any tension, any stagnant energy. And you're allowing yourself, giving yourself permission to release, soften, dissolve any tension in your hips, moving it down your hamstrings, your quadriceps, your strong, stable, healthy knees, past your shins, your calves, your ankles, and out each and every toe. Allowing yourself to feel grounded and stable. For just another minute. I'd like you to begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, coming back into the body. On your next exhalation, I'd like you to roll to your right side, bringing your knees into your chest, resting in this cozy fetal position. using the strength of your arms to slowly push yourself back up to a comfortable seated position. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me this morning. Namaste. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. We welcome any feedback or suggestions that you would like to work on. Let us know if you did that little lesson. And hope to see you again. Like and subscribe. Thank you. Shanti. Namaste.